Hi everyone! I hope you all are doing well. You had some great questions for me about my video, and so now I will answer them for you. Yes, Denver is much bigger than Durango. So in Denver, there are probably about 1 million people, and in Durango we have only about 17,000 people. So yeah, Durango is much smaller than Denver. Durango is like Aurora, so small, and then Denver is big, like Madrid. I think London has a better airport than Chicago. The London airport is huge, there's a lot to do, all kinds of stores and restaurants and lots of stuff. So I think London is better. The London airport is better. I am not used to traveling for so many hours. The journey was really long for me. So it was really hard to be sitting on a plane for so long, sitting at airports for so long. It was really hard. So no, I am not used to traveling for so long. The journey was very long. On the flight, I mostly watched Netflix on my phone. I talked to the person sitting next to me. I read my book, and I also slept a lot. At home, so for my family, when we go to the grocery store or any place where we have to be interacting with people, we always wear a mask, and then we wash our hands a lot. We always put on hand sanitizer. We take off our shoes when we enter the house, and then we also wash our clothes like a lot. Yes, it has been difficult to go home with the quarantine because I can't see my friends, I can't go out, do what I would normally do, and so yeah, being at home is definitely difficult with the quarantine. When my brother met me at the airport, I did not have any physical contact with him. So normally I would give him a hug, but I did not do that because I did not want to infect him. So I did not wear a mask or gloves on the plane. I could not find a mask anywhere to buy or gloves, so I was just really careful. I wore a scarf and tried to breathe into my scarf. And I was just always washing my hands, putting on hand sanitizer, staying as far away from people as possible to keep myself safe and to keep other people safe. On the flight back home, I'm not sure how many people there were, but the flight was full, so I would guess at least 200 other people on the flight. It was pretty full. Yes, so I did make a few friends on my journey. One was a man from London who I sat next to on the flight from London to Chicago, and he told me that he had a conference to go to in Chicago. So he was traveling for work to Chicago. So he was one friend I made, and then another friend I made was another boy from the United States, and he had been living in Germany. So he was living in Germany, but then he was coming home to the United States, and we were also on the same flight. So. At home, I feel good. I miss Spain a lot, but I'm happy to be with my family, in my own house, somewhere where I speak the language especially. So yeah, I feel good at home, although I do miss Spain a lot. is the use of masks and gloves compulsory in the United States? So it depends on the state. So in Colorado, where I live, it is compulsory to wear a mask and gloves if you go to the supermarket or if you go to a restaurant to pick up food. Anywhere where you're interacting with another person, it is compulsory to wear a mask. But in other states, it could be different. So in another state like Texas, California, it might not be compulsory to wear a mask and gloves. So it depends on each state. The stop on the way from London to Chicago, yes, I was afraid of being infected. And so I was very careful. I washed my hands a lot. I stayed away from other people, and I just tried to be as careful as possible to keep from being infected. The worst part of the trip was definitely sleeping on the floor at the airport in London. It was so uncomfortable. I maybe got 3 hours of sleep in total, but yeah, I would say that was the worst part. And then I woke up and was just exhausted. But yeah. Was the trip back home too long for you? Yes, it was so long. It was awful. I think that was probably the longest amount of time I've spent traveling. So yes, the trip back home was very long for me. I am so glad it's over, and I hope I don't have to do something like that again. Yes, I would definitely return to Spain once this crisis ends. I hope to be able to come back and live and work again next year. But if I can't do that, then I will definitely come back just for a visit. Yeah, I was scared. I was scared that when they took my temperature in Chicago, that it would be too high, right? So if I had too high of a temperature, they would have tested me for the virus. And then had I tested positive, I would have had to stay in Chicago instead of coming all the way back to Colorado. I would have had to stay in Chicago for 2 weeks to quarantine, and then I would be allowed to come to Colorado. So yeah, I was very scared that my temperature would be too high or that I would test positive for the virus and not be able to make it all the way home. I don't think anyone on the trip suspected that I was infected. I didn't have a cough or any other symptoms, so no one suspected that I was infected or anything like that. The experience of sleeping at the airport was definitely uncomfortable. I maybe, as I said before, got 2 or 3 hours of sleep and just woke up and was just sore, right? Like my body hurt from sleeping on the ground. So it was definitely uncomfortable. Not a good experience. Yes, my family and I are doing well. We are all healthy. We are all still working from home. So we're doing good. Thank you. The thing that I like most about Spain is probably all of the festivals that you have, like Carnaval, Las Fallas, Semana Santa. There are just so many, the Feria de Malaga. There are just so many fun festivals and celebrations and always something fun to do, so I miss that a lot about Spain. So I would like to live in Spain maybe for 1 more year, but for the rest of my life, no. Because my family lives here in the United States, and I would miss them too much if I lived in Spain permanently. And so, yes, I would like to live in Spain for 1 more year or 2 more years, but permanently, no, I want to live in the United States. So that is all. I hope that I answered all of your questions well. You asked really great questions, and hopefully I will see you all soon.